Okay, all right. So obviously excited to get going here today and finish off the week. We had good meetings this morning, kind of grinded through and, pick it back up pace as far as today's practice is concerned and go out there and get ready to go. So really got to do a good job here today reviewing all the different areas of the game and making sure that we understand what we have to do from a game plan standpoint. Went through all that this morning with the players. And, Friday's a critically important day for us. We want to go out, we want to execute at a high level and make sure that our communication's on point. And, we feel good coming out of the practices. We push towards the weekend. So we're excited to get going. I mean, I think at this point, training camp was long. It was good. This week's been a little bit of a longer week preparing, which is always what it is for the first regular season game. And I think we're out of the preseason mode and we're just ready to get going with the season. So I think it's exciting for everybody, and I think all of us just can't wait to get to Sunday. So what do we got?
It's some good success stopping running quarterbacks last year, different year, different personnel, but what are some of the fundamental keys, I guess, to slowing guys down that like to escape the pocket and get on the move?
Yeah, I think obviously Kyler Murray really presents a whole different issue. I don't know if we've seen a guy that gets to top speed as fast as this guy does. He's dynamic, explosive. When he gets out and can get an edge, you think you might have him contained, but you really don't. He has a lot of fundamental characteristics that are very similar to the quarterbacks that we've seen throughout the years, and guys that can get out of the back of the pocket really fast, guys that can also step up and through and get out into space and create those extended plays. So it's a big challenge for us from that standpoint. And, he's going to run it. He's going to have some designed runs. That's what's a little bit different about this offense. It's there's plays that are specifically designed for him to get the ball, and they're schemed up that way. So they really have the guys blocked. So it's kind of a different sort of, run game to defend against. And, we'll see how it goes, but certainly will be a big challenge for us.
The DB is more important, I guess, in some of that funneling?
It just depends on the play. If it's a situation where a DB's in that position, it could be a DB, could be a linebacker, could be a defensive end. Just kind of depends on how they formation it, how they set it, what it is, how they design it, things like that.
Expectation with a couple of your injured guys right now, Jared Davis, Deshaun Melvin, I guess specifically. Are they close to?
Yeah. We'll just keep grinding here. We got some time left before the game, and we'll see. And whoever's ready to go for the game, they'll be active, and if they're not, they're not. So we'll kind of wait and see how it goes.
Guys who've done it at a high level for a long time. Can you, from afar, marvel at a guy like Larry? 16th season, 235th game, I think, Sunday, and especially at that position, doing it at his level for as long as he has.
I mean, certainly, I think marvel is the best word you could use to describe that. I have the utmost respect for him, and really an amazing player. Love him as a player. Love him as a person. He's a guy that I've gotten to know through the years and competing against him at a high level, in and out through the seasons. And he's someone that just comes every single week to go out, compete, win. And, there's something about guys like Larry Fitzgerald where I think everybody in the stadium knows you got to stop him, and he knows it, and everybody knows he's going to get the ball, and somehow he still makes plays. So I think that's an amazing thing about a guy like that. So he's a great player. He's a better person. He's really, truly a very genuine guy, someone that will take the time to ask you about your family, ask you about, how things are going. He's a pretty remarkable guy.
Obviously, it's beginning of the season versus the end of the season, but last year when you guys played there were clear issues with the field. The players were annoyed by it, you seem bothered by it. Are there concerns this time? You bring more tweets because of that, or is it because it's game one, does that not become as much of a factor?
You know what? I mean, I think there's all kind of a bunch of different spins there. You're not really sure. Last year's last year, certainly from that aspect of it. I think, whatever the field is, it is. We got to go play in it and, just handle the situations and make sure that we're playing Arizona. But, it's the beginning of the season, so I think things are a little bit different from that aspect of it.
Plenty on your plate, obviously. Did you allow yourself to take any peeks at the game last night, just given the division rival magnitude of it?
Yeah, obviously because the division is a little bit more interesting, I would say. Just kind of had it on in the background as we were working. We had to really kind of stay on task and stay focused. So not real close attention to it, but definitely saw a couple of the plays, a couple of the clips, and just listening as I was going through it. But we'll dive deeper into that as we get closer.
Any use last night?
The what?
The pencil get any use last night?
As far as notes, is that what you're saying? Yeah, might have written a couple things down. You never know.
Yeah. Mike asked you yesterday about your perch for the game and everything. You talked about your desire to be on the sideline. We saw Hugh Freeze coaching from a hospital bed.
Yeah.
What's the sort of the fine line, I guess, that coaches have to balance with health, what's best for the team,
Sure.
what's best for the
Sure.
team, that whole management?
I mean, I think I'm just probably always going to start with player safety. I think that's the most important thing. You know, I just got to make sure that those guys are, you know, they're safe on the field, and I certainly don't want to get hit either. So we'll just try to make sure that's all okay.
I didn't mean from your desire to be that. I just meant from like, or you know, from being in the action and being in the way of people. I guess I just meant like, do you have to? How much time can you put into the rehab that you need to be physically healthy
Sure.
versus, you know, everything that goes into coaching?
I think it's probably like anything in life, you know, jobs or whatever it is, you know, sometimes all that stuff gets put on hold. You just got to make sure, you know, you're doing your job well.
Much of a challenge is just monitoring snap counts, I guess, for your defensive guys. You're facing an up-tempo offense, first game. A bunch of those defensive linemen haven't done a whole lot so far. Like, how difficult is that going in?
I would say that's 100% accurate. I'd say that's something that's really, you know, we're going to have to see how that goes, and hopefully, you know, we can handle it. But, you know, part of the offense that we're going to face is that they will stay on the field, they will go up tempo, and they will try to wear those guys out. And we have to do everything possible to try to keep those guys fresh so they can play 60 minutes. And that is, you know, that is a concern for game number one always. You know, I think game number one for these guys, as you go through preseason trying to get ready for a regular season, it's just different. You know, guys aren't taking full preseason games anymore. It's not really what we do. So there's a little bit of an unknown, and then throw kind of an up-tempo offense in front of them on top of that, and it becomes really difficult. So we'll have to see how that goes.
You ever get a feel for how your team might feel, you know, like going into a game, or you just rely on prepared, we've done what you can do, we'll see how it works?
Yeah, I think we want to just stay consistent. You know, we want to make sure that we're just staying kind of always in the same preparatory lines of, you know, the most important for us is just to continually prepare, you know, and not get too high, too low, but just be ready to go for the game so that when the ball's kicked off, we know it's going to be 60 minutes of up and downs. You know, there's going to be good plays, there's going to be bad plays, and we got to make sure that we can just kind of weather the storm of all of it and be consistent at the end of the game. That's really kind of the mindset that we have to take as we go through, and it's important for us to preach that through the course of the week so that when we get in the game, it's the same.
Clapping, Kyler Murray's clapping and the penalties during this offseason. What do you tell you guys both offensively and defensively? I don't know what your understanding of, you know, that is in terms of.
You know, I think, you know, those offenses obviously are trying to work through all that stuff, and I think Cliff's had a lot of conversations with the league. So the thing for us that's most important on defense, and honestly, as you go through cadence conversations can get pretty lengthy at time. It's just about the ball. Ball's got to move, and then we move. So, I mean, I think that's kind of fundamental, but it's really true, so that you don't get caught up in the rest of it, because it's going to change week to week, whether it's, you know, a hand clap, a head bob, a guard tap, at home hard count cadence on the road, you know, things like that are just all different. The one constant is the football, so we just try to stay there.